So there's a couple things. I think the main storylines came out of the baseball world yesterday. The Alex Rodriguez injury, which is, to say the least, a poopy situation for the
New York Yankees.
For the New York Yankees. But at the same time, they're playing good enough that they should be okay. And that came to fruition last night with a bases clearing, or
it was Jason Nix had a 3-run double.
Three-run
double in the 8th. They scored 4 runs in the 8th. Thankfully, they were down 2-1 the whole entire game till that point. And the Yankees ended up going on to win 5-2. But nobody cares about that right now, because you're right, Dave. Like you just said, the Yankees are okay. They're on top of their division, up 8 games on Baltimore and Tampa, and 20 games above 500. They're straight.
They're feeling all right. Now, the interesting thing is A-Rod's out 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
So, the question is, I don't really think record-wise him being out is going to hurt them too much. I think that there will be moments that they would love to have his bat. There are also moments where they would love to have him in the field. But at the same time, it's not like they don't have other guys that can step in and fill in his shoes for him. The real question is, I've heard rumors that some people think the Yankees should trade to replace him. Other people think that they should work in-house because it's not like he's gone for the season.
Yeah, he's only out 6 to 8 weeks.
So you being my direct leaf or branch to the Yankees. I'm curious to know what you think as a Yankee fan and then just as a sports guy. Because both might have a different opinion for you. As a fan, you might say, yeah, let's trade and get a big name. Or you might say, no, let's stay in-house because I like our young guys. Or, as a baseball guy, you might be like, no, they can't sacrifice giving up some of the things they have. I'm just curious to know what your opinion is on each side of the fence, or just what your opinion is in general.
Here's what I got for you.
I like what you got. Go ahead. Let's go.
Out 6 to 8 weeks. He should be back about September, mid to late September. So he's coming back for the playoff push. The Yankees don't need to make a trade. They don't need to do it. A lot of rumors speculating that they could go after San Diego third baseman Chase Headley, which makes sense. He's not going to be too expensive. They would have him on the books, I believe, through 2014. They control him through. He's a cheap option. But you don't need him. You don't need to trade for him. You got in-house Eric Chavez. He's going to step up and play a lot more. Can he play every day, though? I don't think so. Eric Chavez, at this point in his career, really is just like a bench player. Will come off, give A-Rod a rest every 4 or 5 days. But for him to play every day really is going to be detrimental to his health, unfortunately. He's had a lot of back issues, so him playing every day will definitely catch up to him. I want to see, though, Nunez get called up. That's what I honestly want to see.
Okay, now Nunez is a guy to you that you think is ready to come up to the majors and make an impact?
Nunez was up in the majors, made an impact, but he made an impact in the wrong way. He's always had a good shtick on him, a good bat, but his issue is his glove. Okay. He's not the best infielder at all. That is why he got sent down earlier in the year, because his glove is just terrible. But you lose a bat, bring a bat up.
Yeah, let's be honest. Do we consider A-Rod Gold Glove material at third base?
He's 37 years old.
So
it really doesn't hurt the Yanks. Thankfully, they lost something that was of strength from them. Their lineup is their strength. So, therefore, you can afford to lose A-Rod's bat. I know he was just getting hot a little bit. He hit his 15th home run of the year. But it's okay. It's not like he was the A-Rod of old where he already had 25, 30 homers in a year. It's all right. 15 homers. I think A-Rod was batting about 280, 40-something RBIs. That's replaceable. That's okay.
That is replaceable.
You're not losing Cano. If you lost Cano, I would say the Yanks are going to be in trouble. because Cano is blatantly their best hitter. But
And,
6 to 8
and
weeks.
I also think losing Cano morale-wise in the locker room would have a bigger effect too. I mean, no disrespect to ARod, but I think everybody knows that when it comes down to who he is as a player, his best days are behind him. And I think a lot of people know that. So for most people, it's just more of a, yeah, we rather have him than not have him. But the fact that we don't have him is not the end of the world.
No, it's definitely not the end of the world. But you know what would be interesting? Yankees have a third base position available. The Mets suck. Yankees want to sign up David Wright?
I heard about that.
Want to sign up David Wright? I'd have no issues with that. I'd have no issues with David Wright coming to the Yanks. But obviously, that's blatantly not going to happen. Obviously. Not with A-Rod there and whatnot.
You got that. You got the fact that the Mets would probably want everything in a bag of chips for David Wright. I can't fathom the Mets doing what the Mariners did with Ichiro and just hand him, two prospects.
Completely different players, bro.
I completely agree, but I'm just saying the importance of Wright on the Mets is more than just his play on the field. I mean, he's the face that they have for their franchise right now.
Oh, we're flipping topics. We're going to the Mets now because I want to argue with this now. I think the Mets should clean house.
Even with David Wright? No, you can't do that. Bro. You cannot.
How are you going to tell me no? How are you going to tell me no? This team has been fighting all year, has been giving Met fans such amazing moments, being in a playoff hunt come to the All-Star break. Now, with the team that they had, you expected them to at least fade out in when? September? Already faded out. Already. They're not even playing meaningful baseball in August. Already done.
It's so depressing.
And now here's my reasoning. Let's think about the Mets lineup. Who they got at first base next year? Ike Davis, nothing special. Second base, maybe Daniel Murphy. They're talking about possibly trading him this year, so I'm saying maybe Daniel Murphy. Your shortstop, Ruben Tejada. All right, he's only good. He only has a good average. Can't hit you home runs or anything great. He's got a good glove. Third base, obviously David Wright. Outfield. Who is coming back from your outfield, Met fans? 201-430-2119. I say you got to trade David Wright. Your left fielder is Jason Bay, who's atrocious. You have one more year with him, I believe. He's atrocious. Your center fielder is Andres Torres, who blows. He's hitting about 200 this year. He's old, and he's like 35 years old. Now, who do you got in right field? Who do you have in right field? You sent down Lucas Duda, who's probably going to get traded to an American League team because all he can do is just hit the ball.
He's a DH all the way.
He is. He's a DH all the way. So, Met fans, it is time to get rid of David Wright. Ask for the farm for him. Ask for it. Trade him. You have nothing great coming back next season. Nothing great. Trade David Wright. Get something for him. Get top prospects. Get a good player out of it. You need to start building around something else because David Wright is not the way to go anymore. You have nothing coming back. I understand you need a face of a franchise. Screw it. Screw it. Look what the Oakland Athletics are doing with a $20 million payroll this year. Screw it.
Well, I'm not saying keep him. I get the fact that you don't need to burn millions and millions of dollars to go win a Super Bowl, win a World Series. But I don't know. I just feel like if you trade a guy like David Wright,
dude, he's at his highest point where he's gonna be. He's batting like 350, 15 home runs. He's at the top of the food chain right now when it comes to third basemen. You're going to be able to get whatever you want from him.
See, that's the thing. If they can make the trade, if they Pixel Junkie, what's up, buddy? Writes into the chat room. David Wright needs to cross the bridge at 161st.
Yeah.
To me, if you're going to trade the guy and you can get numerous top prospects, couple, maybe a AAA guy that can come up and play, or something.
You need guys who are ready to go now.
Maybe a pitcher or two that can get into the bullpen and help the bullpen out. Something like, I get the concept that you do not have to get David Wright, like the world for David Wright, but you need to find people that can fill in and compensate. And you don't need to go out there and spend $100 million on salary cap to have a World Series caliber team. And, I get all that. But the reason I say David Wright can't be traded is for the fact that, to me, if you trade David Wright, then you're going to get a large amount of the average Met fan, the guy like me who, chose the Mets because he didn't want to root for the team that already won 27 rings.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a lot of guys.
I don't think
and people
so.
that are fans of that team.
That's where I beg to differ. Fans will come out of the woodwork as long as your team is good. They don't care who's on the team. As long as it's good, people will root for your team. Mets, your team is not good.
No.
And I'm sorry to say that. It is still July. You've come out of the gates losing 12 or 13, smacking yourself back into reality of being a bad team.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. If before this month started, people were like, well, what are the chances the Mets might grab the second wild card spot?
Not good anymore.
One of those conversations we had on this show before this month started. And now it's almost a month later, and we're like, well, they might as well clean house because this year's a wash.
It is a wash. At this point, I even think at this point, the Philadelphia Phillies are going to climb the standings and top the Mets. The way that the Mets are playing is terrible. Clean house. R.A. Dickey is pitching unbelievably well, pitching Cy Young caliber baseball.
Yeah, I mean, even if his loss to the Nationals, he
he's
pitched
37,
really well.
38 years old. Trade him. Trade him while you have an opportunity. Trade him because he's not pitching like this next year. And Met fans,
No, you can't expect him to do this next year.
201-430-2119. You cannot expect R.A. Dickey to be 13-2 again at this point next season.
No.
Trade him. Mets. Sandy Alderson is blatantly telling you, we are looking for 2013, 2014, not 2012. Trade Dickey. I can understand if you want to keep Wright. I get it. But you don't have anything great around David Wright. That's why I'm saying to trade him.
Nothing around David Wright at all.
Back.
That is for damn
back.
sure. It's funny. We got not funny, but we got Jeremy and Pixel both sharing their opinions in the chat room. Jeremy writes that something like that would spawn so much hatred for the Yankees, albeit well deserved.
Well, he's speaking about if the Yanks and Mets made a trade for Wright. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, and then Pixel goes on to say nope because David Cohn, Darryl Strawberry, and Dwight Gooden all crossed the bridge over 161st, and he's saying, let's go, D-Wrights, let's go.
Yeah, but they signed as free agents. They were not traded. There's a difference.
Pixel. They signed as free agents. Well, David Wright, to me, look, I really don't want to see the guy be traded, and I think I don't think the Yankees are going to trade for him.
No,
I think they
Yankees,
like what they have to bring up.
I don't think the Yankees even have what the Mets would want for a package deal for David Wright. They don't have anything great in the minors when it comes to hitting anyway. They have two really great pitchers. That's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what? I think that it'll be interesting to see if he is traded, but not to the Yankees, because I don't think the Yankees are going to make a move for him.
Wright's not going to get traded because I'm sure the Mets want a face around the franchise for this year and maybe next year. But I'm just saying they need to get rid of him. They don't have anything great as far as hitting-wise is concerned. And this is just not a good team. I'm sorry. The magic is faded. Terry Collins, you've done a great job with this team up until the All-Star break. And now they're falling flat on their face. Pixel Junkie putting in the chat room that Yanks are looking at Ty Wigginton to fill in at third. Talking to the Phillies about that. That wouldn't be bad. They don't need to. The Yankees do not need to make a big-time move. They just need patchwork to fill in until ARod comes back. Ty Wigginton would be a good deal. They can, like I said, they can stay in-house and rock with Eric Chavez, Jason Nix, and possibly bring up Nunez or somebody else for that matter. The Yankees are very loaded when it comes to the lineup, so they don't need to worry yet. 6 to 8 weeks, just patchwork it. That's it.
And the funny thing is, when you really look at it, 6 to 8 weeks in baseball is going to go really quick.
Yep.
6 to 8 weeks is going to, like Joey pointed out before, it's pretty much going to take us right to early September.
Yeah, early to mid to late September.
Yeah, somewhere in September, a.k.a. the Yankees, at that point, you would expect at least have a playoff spot clinched. I don't know if you're going to say has the division clinched. Most likely, in my opinion, they will. But you got to figure one way or another, they're still going to be sitting in a pretty good spot. I can't fathom this team blowing the lead that they have in their division over this span. I just can't fathom. And if they do it, I don't think it would be because of ARod's absence. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they had that kind of collapse, I don't think it would have anything to do with Alex Rodriguez being out of their lineup. Their pitching would have to fall apart. Their batting would have to drop dramatically.
Yep.
So many things would have to happen for this team to fall out of the position they're in that I really would not stress this injury one way or another. I don't think it's something that you're excited about, obviously. You're not, like, oh, yeah, we get to see some of our young prospects. No. But at the same time, you shouldn't sit there as a Yankee fan and be like, oh, my God, what are we going to do now? You should be okay.
No, and the Yankees, even if they go 500 the rest of the way, while ARod's out, they're still 20 games above 500.
Yeah.
500, baby. That's it. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah, because you got to figure 20 games above 500 mid-September. You're a happy camper with your baseball team.
You're very
a happy camper. That's for sure. It's interesting though because I think that that with the ARod injury, if things go really good, do they look like? Baseball doesn't really work the same way as football, where they'll just cut a guy loose even with 4 or 5 years left on his contract, right?
I think so. I think there's like 5 years left.
Yeah, so like they if things go really, really good and whoever fills in for him at third base really shines, are there any odds that ARod doesn't come back to the Yankees the following season?
What, after that contract? What are you talking about? My bad.
What I'm trying to say is, like, in football,
okay,
you can have 4 years left on your deal and wake up one day and you're cut. You're gone.
Baseball
doesn't work like that.
Baseball's fully guaranteed your contract.
That's what I initially was asking. They don't. That's why in baseball you don't just cut cut
somebody
because you're still paying them the money no matter what. Okay, that's something I just had to have clarified for myself. We've actually now been gone for a while, ladies and gentlemen, so we're gonna hop into our first music break. We hope you're enjoying yourselves so far. When we get back, we have some more baseball to talk. We also have some soccer to talk. And, of course, training camps got started this week, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
So we got some football to talk as well.
Thank God training camp is here.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Zone.
On Club Zone.
And we shall be
right back.